Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to have a fun time talking about some physical versus digital, Sony being dumbasses, all that wonderful, beautiful stuff that's been happening recently. I hope you guys have been having a great weekend so far. I know I have been. Just been hanging out over the week. I got to see my nieces, got to go out of town with them. So I hope you guys have also had a great week. So let's get started. Today we have a special guest, one of my dear friends of the channel. Let's bring him in. Half man, half cat, DashAttack.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you so much, Scoop.
How's it going? How's your week been so far?
My week's been pretty interesting. Mostly doing the same. I'm in between normally like I have like specific games I focus on, and I was playing Final Fantasy X for a while, and I've completed it, so I'm just kind of like, trying to find like my next game. I've been playing a little bit of one of the newer Tomb Raider games currently. But yeah, like like you said, like physical media, I've been very focused on the Sony stuff, very like, because it's important to me, because I don't want to get too much into the main topic before that, but yeah, so yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I know I've been having a great week. My mom and I celebrated, my mom, brother and I should say, celebrated Spain's win for the World Cup. Yes, we are still going to talk about that because I love it. I'm very happy about it. My mom's from Spain. So yeah, it's a big, big win for us. Also, things have just been overall just fun recently. I mean, when I left town, I went to Ocean City, which was real fun. It's only
Ocean City.
Ocean City, Maryland.
Ocean City, Maryland. Yeah. So you see, we got an Ocean City in Jersey. My family always like vacations there.
When you think about it, what state doesn't have an Ocean City or something related to an ocean? I mean, think about it. Everybody has like something ocean-wise related to them, and it normally has a casino nearby or something like that.
Yeah, it's very close to Atlantic City, so you're not wrong.
So let's go ahead and pop into our topic: Sony and Xbox fun time, digital versus physical. Continued from last weekend's show, and more. So as we know, the physical versus digital, it's a pain in the ass. It really is, and it's not just not only does it affect gamers, it affects stores.
Yep, big time.
Oh yeah, big time. Like GameStop, Best Buy. It affects Best Buy. It affects Target, because those two do have a section, so that's wiping out a section.
Yeah,
so
Walmart.
Walmart. It's wiping out a good chunk of the business of their area, because it's a very
There's also like tons of mom and pop shop that sell old and new games. Like you're taking out a bunch of small businesses, online retailers.
Even some of the such as in New York. I lived in New York for a little while. I would go to some of the Asian stores. So some of the import games, those are also going to be gone.
Oh, yep. Play Asia, like,
it's
all these like import.
Yeah, a lot of the import games, those are good luck, goodbye. And it's kind of like, and in a way, it's kind of hard to pin the blame on who started this.
They were all like really trying to do it around the same time.
Yeah, because I mean, they were all dropping hints. I mean, at some point in time, they all dropped hints, but they also said, well, they also gave off the idea of, well, digital is also cheaper than physical. bullshit. In case
Yeah,
you haven't noticed,
sure,
prices have gone up to the point where
sure,
they're
but they
more
don't want to.
expensive. Yeah, some point in some points, in some cases, it has gotten up to the point where some digital games are more expensive than the physical,
Yep.
especially if it's like a special type.
Yeah, like Ultimate Editions, Ultimate Online Editions.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, one of the big collector's editions I got, which was ludicrously expensive, but I was able to get it because of I used my tax returns on it, was the collector's edition for Final Fantasy 16 that came with a bunch of shit, including like this giant Phoenix and Ifrit statue that's like in my bedroom right now. You know, it's been there for like since launch. Like it was. I did a whole unboxing video of that. It was like so cool, and like honestly, like if they had just given me a code in the box, I probably wouldn't have bothered.
Yeah, I mean, when you go back to some of the most popular systems for consoles, they were all disc. Sony PS5 sold more physical editions than they did digital.
Yep. Yet, like they want you to believe that their data is like all digital
Yeah,
games, even though they're including DLC, they're including PS
yeah,
Plus.
they're
They're
including yeah, they're including all of that. I mean, and you also have the companies out there that make their games digital only for certain things like maybe Steam or whatnot.
Yeah, and
So
a lot of that has to do with affordability, but some of them do put up the extra cost for physical for limited releases. And that has been very lucrative to like places like okay, shitty example, but it's the most well-known example, limited run games.
mhm. And then, of course, as I mentioned with John last weekend, when you have physical and you have digital, you're making more money because you're spreading it out through the market.
Yeah, you're diversifying your portfolio. Like, you'll have a retail presence, which right now, like Nintendo is like killing retail. Like I went to a Best Buy, like there's barely any PlayStation and Xbox stuff there. It's just all Nintendo.
Yeah, but then again, Nintendo also. I have a lot of hate for Nintendo for at the moment
Oh
because
yeah, like they've
at
been
the mo-
doing the game key cards, Pal World.
yeah, they pretty much. I think that they are responsible for raising the prices because when Switch 2 came out, all their games were like 80 and whatnot. Whereas before Switch 2 came out, the games ran around between 60 to 70. Uh, then Switch 2
Yeah,
comes
they
out,
yeah,
prices
so
prices are raised. You got key cards, and people say, "Oh, but they're coming out physical." Yeah, those
for
physical,
now.
yeah, physical. Some of them are physical, and then the other ones are just physical cards that have keys in them.
Yeah,
It's
they
not what you think.
yeah, I am. I've been very much against the game key cards because I think they really defeat the purpose of physical.
Hmm.
Yet some people like don't mind them, and I guess like I won't berate some of them. Like like say like oh at least you can trade them in. I mean, but my worry is like down the line when they shut down the Switch 2 store, like they've done with almost every other storefront from all their online systems. Like will that key card even still work?
Yeah, which is a good point because back when I had a PS3, I bought the fighting game Skullgirls, which was by Konami.
Well,
And
Konami didn't do Skullgirls. Skullgirls was an indie game.
oh, sorry. Well, there was a fighting game that was similar to it. I'm sorry. Um, but I had the demo, and it said that it gave you the option, to purchase the game key for the full game. I got the game key, got the full game. Woke up the next day, it was gone. It was completely gone. I tried to get a hold of PlayStation, told them my situation, and they were like, your problem, not ours. And I was like, yeah, fuck you. You know, like I said, when it comes to Sony, their best stuff was all physical. The PlayStation Vita sucked ass. But PSP rocked. PS1, PS2, great systems.
Did Vita not have discs?
I don't remember because I had the Vita, but I hated it because pretty much everything I had to get was digital, and it barely had any games to begin with. Whereas the PSP was awesome, but the PlayStation Vita was mainly created not only to update, but also because people were bitching about not having a second toggle, because PSP had only one toggle. So PS Vita comes out, 2 toggles. Woohoo! Woohoo! Oh joy! Wow! Who cares? But yeah, the digital, in a way, it's not only is it killing physical, but also you have the licensing problem.
Yeah, it's the broader issue of game ownership.
Yeah, you have licensing problems. You have problems like server shutdowns as well. For example, Cult of the Lamb.
Yeah. Wait, I thought that game was doing like pretty healthy. It got a new expansion recently.
It did, but then they announced that they were going to shut down the server, but they never said when. But a lot of people were pissed off about it.
Cult of the Lamb has a server?
Yeah.
This must be for a new component, because I thought that was mostly an offline game.
No, I have a couple of friends who have it, and they multiplayer on it and everything like that.
Yeah,
they kept nagging me. They kept nagging me, saying, "Scooby, get the game." I was like, "Hell no." And that was during my time of, please, people don't kill me. That was during my time of Destiny overkill. I'm a big fan of Destiny.
Oh yeah, like speaking of Destiny, that's a very good example of killing a game. Like, you know,
oh yeah,
very profitable game, very passionate fan base. Like Hijabi Gamer, like started out as a Destiny streamer.
Yeah, you could tell things were going downhill with Destiny when Deej jumped ship. And when he left, that was like a total sign of, okay, this guy, he works for Bungie, he stands up for Destiny in every single way. Every time he says something, he's right and whatnot. He jumps ship, and a lot of people are like, wait a minute, why did he go? What's wrong? Well, why does a rat desert its ship? When Bungie killed off Cade, who was a fan favorite, a lot of people did not like that. And then, of course, the DLCs just started to, they were hit and miss. They went from being good to hit or miss, which is something you don't want to have. And then they started bringing in seasonal stuff, which you also don't want to have. And then, of course, do we need to really bring up Marathon?
We don't have to if you don't want, but yeah, but actually we probably should, because, you know, it is part of the trilogy, the holy trilogy of Concord, Highguard, and Marathon.
That right there was another company killer, aside from so many of, it's just, Destiny went wrong in so many ways. It's not even funny.
Yeah, I feel bad for the Destiny fans. Like, there is no reason why they couldn't have kept like milking it, like done another sequel.
If they had not killed off Cade, if they had killed off somebody else, I'm pretty sure people would have been very, very happy with it, and they really wouldn't have cared.
He was that big a character?
Oh yes, he was that well loved. Nathan Fillion played his character. I was a beta tester for Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. I was Hunter class for life. And Nathan Fillion played Cade 6, and he was a hunter, but he was also the comic relief. So he was the one that made the gamers laugh, the ones that made the gamers smile, the ones that made people want to play the game.
Yeah, for any
So,
like MMO or big like online game, you really need those like really big characters that you just want to pal around and root for. That's one part of the reasons why like, people get so invested in FF14's story is because they love characters like Y'shtola and Thancred and the Dragoon. I forget his name. But like, they get invested in those characters and they want to see, but they do have to like kill some of them off from sometimes. But that is a strategic like decision. Like, they don't like Estienne. Yeah. The Estein, cool character. Every Dragoon is cool in Final Fantasy.
for Final Fantasy, I have only 2 experiences with Final Fantasy. The PSP game Final Fantasy Dissidia.
Yep.
And the Final Fantasy game that everybody knows as the Traveling Boy Band.
Oh yeah, 15. 15,
Yeah.
I haven't like fully finished like 15, but I know my friend Jace hates 15. He hates 15 so much. But yeah, it's interesting because like Dissidia was kind of like a like crossover game. They actually just released a new one on mobile that's a little bit more like more of a traditional arena fighter where they have the Final Fantasy characters in modern day Tokyo fighting monsters.
Monsters fighting monsters. Those are always the fun games.
Well, no, it's like you have two teams, and whoever kills the monster first wins. It's like a race.
All I can say as far as future games, though, this better be on disc, and that is the future upcoming Godzilla game.
You mean the Destroy All Monsters remaster?
Monster.
It has physical. It is physical. They've shown it. It's got a PS5 and a Switch. I believe like even the Switch 2 version is full physical.
Oh, thank God. And it's not just Sony that's going physical, though. It's also Xbox. And it makes me wonder that if maybe they're going physical also for the competition known as Steam.
Well, they all want to be Steam. Like they think, these companies, they always get the success of things wrong. Okay, why do people like Steam? Oh, because there's no physical. Well, maybe we can get that.
When really what makes Steam so popular is the prices.
Yeah, the sales, the prices, just like, how indie friendly, how like Jumpstart. Like I know anyone can get a game on Steam now.
Yeah. And that's what I think personally, I think that's really what jump-started their popularity was the pricing. And if that's
the pricing, the community aspect, like I remember when I started.
And if that's what Sony and Xbox are looking at and stuff, they can do the same thing, just lower their prices.
Yeah, like Nintendo has that same issue in abundance. Like even when they do have a sale, like their first party titles, that it'll only be like a 20% discount.
Granted, PlayStation on occasion in its digital store, of course, naturally it's digital, will give you like 60 to 70% off during a spring or summer sale, which will otherwise, and they'll sometimes like bring the sales of games like Bayonetta, which they'll still charge like $50 to $60 down to $10.
Yeah,
Just
they'll
for
even lock sales behind whether or not you're a PS Plus subscriber. Like,
which really pisses me off because I had the director's cut edition for Stray. Not Stray. Oh God. You'll have to excuse me. It's one of those days. It's been really hot here. Not Ghost of Yote, but the other one. The first one.
Oh, yeah, Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima. I had the director's cut of Ghost of Tsushima thanks to PlayStation Plus. And of course, my subscription ran out because I didn't pay it in time, and so they stripped the game from me.
Yep. You're once if it's one of those quote unquote free games they'll lock it, so you have to stay subbed to them in order to play that game.
So what did I do? I went to GameStop and bought the physical. I always make sure, and that's one thing that pisses me off is that sometimes when you buy the digital and then you get locked off from it or whatever, you have to go out and buy it again, but via physical. And not only that, when you download a digital game, there's always the chance of something going wrong. Whereas and there's nothing you can do about it. You'll have a bug that you can't fix and whatnot, even if you delete it, then re-download it and whatnot. But if you have a physical and something like that happens, you can delete all that stuff, go straight to the store that you got it at, or any other store like GameStop, whatever, switch it out. And I've done that a couple of times with Uncharted, with like the first game and whatnot. I've had to do that. And, you can't do that with digital.
Yeah, that's especially common on PC. Things like, games on consoles are normally a little bit more like optimized and stuff. Whereas like, I told you I was playing Final Fantasy X. I was originally playing it on the PC, but I had to go and rebuy the game just because the PC version was just shit.
Hello, Jill. Thank you for the raid, sweetie. I love you very much.
So I had to rebuy the game, and then sure enough, the Square Enix announced, hey, we're making a Switch 2 version of Final Fantasy X. It's the same exact price, and no, there's no upgrade path. And I'm like, oh, screw that, I'll just stick with the Switch version I just bought.
Yeah, this is one thing I don't like is I also don't like Switch because of the shit that they pull on you. Like, you can bring over your Switch games over to the Switch 2 and it'll play them. Well, we all know what happened to that one guy who went to GameStop, bought a Switch 2 game that was used. A Switch 1 game that was used it on a Switch 2, and what happened? His system got bricked and Nintendo said, up yours.
Yeah. I heard a lot of those stories early on about the bricking.
Yeah. And now Nintendo is pretty much saying, well, you can tell that we're good. You can tell that we're great because we now have Splatoon.
But you didn't hear like the uproar with a lot of the Splatoon fans. So apparently Splatoon had its D&D moment recently. Yes, it is wrong that the Salamoids are not respected and that they're being raided and colonized by the Octolings. And so Splatoon is racist now.
Are you kidding me?
No, this is actually true. Like they literally were saying that Nintendo created this enemy faction as some sort of other, like, and they were like trying to put real race shit into it. They're salmon people.
It's I don't even know where to start with Nintendo.
I know it is fucking ridiculous. Like these people cannot separate reality from fucking fiction.
Not
Everything
only
has to
that,
be a metaphor for something else.
well, not only that is they keep on hanging on to their old IPs. They need to try something new.
Well, Splatoon was kind of kind of their newest IP. It came out during the Wii U era, technically. But yeah, I could go for a new Nintendo franchise, and hopefully they stick with it.
Yeah, like for example, the new game, Pragmata.
Yeah.
Well, semi new. It came out
Yeah,
earlier.
Capcom says they want to turn it into a franchise now because
Yeah,
it did so well.
Yeah, and it deserves it too, especially with the endings. It has
Oh man, that ending was so heartbreaking. It was,
it has
but
multiple endings.
in a warm way, in a very warm way. Like my God,
Well, it has multiple endings.
What?
Yeah.
How do you? Okay, so I got the ending where
there's the default ending, and then when you finish the game, there's a new mode that unlocks, and that mode takes you straight to the final boss fight. But there's an item that you have to equip during that final boss fight, and I'll tell you more about it later because I don't want to spoil it for the chat for anybody who's actually playing it.
I totally replay it again just to get that new ending.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It still has that ending where she goes off to Earth. So
yeah,
that part stays there, but there's a little bit of an add-on afterwards.
I get it. The expanded ending.
Yes, that's the true ending that you get. So it's the true ending.
Oh man.
And it's because of that true ending that they decided, well, we left it that way so that way we can turn it into a franchise if it did that well. And it sold 2 million copies within a weekend.
Yep. I got the physical of that. I made
sure
to get the physical. I was late to play it because I was hunting down physical. I got. Oh, wait! You beat the game though, didn't you?
No, I went over to my buddy Jamal's place to hang out, but I didn't realize he was playing the game. And when I went over to his when I went over to his because he has his parents have like a duplex, and he has one side and the parents have the other. So when I went over to where he was, I saw that he was still playing a game, and I said, "What's this?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm finishing up Pragmata." And I made the mistake of looking at the screen when he was finishing it up. I was like, shit. And because of the ending, I was like, I couldn't play it for 2 days. I was so damn emotional.
Oh, damn.
And so for a while, it took me a while to get back to the game. And for anybody who watches my Barcades at night, they would know why. And now I have to get back to the game, but so much has been going on that it's like I have to find a time to get back to the game. So yeah, I need to get back to the game so I can finish playing it for all my beautiful players, for all my beautiful people who love to come and watch the Barcade, and then I can go back to Code Vein 2 and game rage as usual.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people like to see me rage when I game. As soon as I finish Pragmata, I'm going back to Code Vein 2.
Yep. Raging is sometimes some of the best streamer moments is when we get into that organic rage of just that one puzzle we can't solve, that one enemy we can't beat.
Exactly. Zalosi. He knows. He knows from my Wu-Chang streams. Anybody who's seen any of my Wu-Chang streams, they know. They know exactly what I am like.
Yeah, so like we are going to lose a lot. Like if we lose physical, if we can't get like Sony to reverse course, and they've shown like all intents and purposes, they are going to resist the backlash as hard as they can, even if it
Oh yeah.
hurts like their look as a brand. And whether or not Xbox decides to like reverse course, since they are going through some leadership changes right now,
But
like
the thing is,
we know they were headed towards an all digital future. We know that with Game Pass, but now that Game Pass is kind of falling off, and now that they really need that win, especially like God, did you see what they did to Halo?
uh, yeah,
Yeah, I can't believe they insert a character like that into the like forcefully into the original game. It's so
yeah, it
stupid.
was, yeah,
I mean, that character is every like I guess like girl boss trope that from the past like 7 years rolled into one, and from Manjaw to everything.
it's sad, very, very sad. Tis
I know.
true.
I'm such a big Halo fan. Uh,
And back a couple years ago, uh, Microsoft announced, yeah, we're trying to get out of the console and go straight into digital. Well, the thing is, though, is that Game Pass right now is the only thing holding them back up. And the thing with what they're doing with Game Pass is great. Is the price either goes up or it goes down, or it goes up or it goes down, and they can't seem to find a steady a steady weight for Game Pass. In a way, it's kind of like Disney Plus. Sometimes the price goes up, sometimes the price goes down.
yeah, these
Um,
streaming services are not that easy. Like the reason why it worked for Netflix was because they had those like that Blu-ray option for so long, and in fact, that was the main thing. Like the streaming was just a side until like the thing is like people found the streaming more convenient. So like they did away with the rentals and just became a streaming company.
but here's the thing, though. Just like PlayStation and other companies and stuff, other streaming game and other digital games and stuff. How should I put it? They're pulling what Netflix does, as well as other streaming services does, and that is keep a movie and stuff up there for a while and then remove it. And what did PlayStation do? They had certain movies and then removed 300 of them from
I
there.
thought it was like 500.
I thought it was like 300 to 500. Either way, they removed a shit ton of them and put some of them on either their PlayStation app or Sony app, I should say, or just flat out got rid of them, saying they couldn't be regained, especially with Studio Canal. Anything involving Studio Canal, you could not get back because they
And
ended
that
their
sucks
licensing
too.
because they ended their licensing agreement with Studio Canal. So anything involving that company was null and void.
And that sucks because like people actually paid full price
Yeah.
for those movies. And you saying you can't even hey Slay, how's it going? Like it's not like with Netflix where like it's a rental. It is streaming. You're paying a service. Like it's a rental. But like these were digital purchases people bought like with the expectation that they would always have those movies, and they just took them away. Didn't give the money back.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm glad I never really like bought too many digital movies. Like I bought Ready or Not so I could get caught up for the sequel, but only because it was like at such a cheap price.
But then again, also, you have the Steam machine comes out, which puts up more, which also puts up more competition for digital games, which could also be another another push for the whole digital gaming thing for
Yeah,
all
but
the
the thing
consoles.
is, like, Steam was already all digital, so like,
Yeah,
so like, but the thing
console
is,
wise, I'm
like,
saying that they come out console wise, and their console is strictly digital games only. And of course, PlayStation and Xbox and Nintendo, despite being consoles, they already had to fight against Steam. Here comes Steam now, not only with with the Steam Deck as they always had, um, but with a Steam machine, which is more like the same kind of console as they are, only it is strictly digital. So what are they going to do? Of course, they're going to compete with strictly digital.
it's so stupid because physical is the one thing they have over Steam that Steam can't replicate.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Steam like creates a disk drive and starts like, and I don't see them doing that ever.
And PlayStation, they did that with their PS5 with the digital
Yeah.
systems. They didn't sell that many digital systems.
And
And what
hey,
happened? Yeah, they didn't sell that many. So what happened? They started selling these individual disk drives that you had to install onto the digital. But the thing is, though, is that it got so popular, so many people wanted them that you could only buy it one per person.
oh yeah, they
There's a
put
waiting list.
limited how many disk drives you could get almost as soon as they made the physical media
Yeah,
announcement. But there's another thing. There was another all digital console before the Steam machine, and that was Google Stand Up. I'm not sure if you remember that.
mm-hmm.
Yep,
Didn't
that
last
thing
long.
died. It freaking died. Like it had like newer games on there. It had like some Assassin's Creed titles and it,
Even Amazon had some stuff.
yeah, so like that whole thing died. Like Google's like attempt at the console market like completely failed without discs. And so it's amazing that like I just don't know where a lot of these companies get their information and data. It's like they're constantly trying to fight what the market actually wants.
And I also think that this also has a lot to do with, and I brought this up with John, and I'd love to know your opinion on this. I also think that this also has to do a lot with COVID. When it came to COVID, people were locked up in their houses. They couldn't go out to game stores or anything like that. They couldn't go out, buy any physical disc. It was strictly digital. That was the best they could do.
Yeah. Like so like gaming and movies like all well, I digital like movies, like and streaming
Mm-hmm.
services that all had a huge boom during COVID because of like the lockdowns and that skewed the data. And like ever since then, these executives like they think like they can get those numbers organically again outside of COVID. And the truth is they can't.
Yep.
You'll never see that line of growth again unless like there's another like forceful government like shutdown or health scare.
And not only that, like I said earlier, is you have some companies that make games strictly digital. Why? Because those companies are going to stick them on Steam and other companies. And if they're going to stick a game on Steam, they have to make a digital version of it.
Yeah. Also, like Steam has less strict like guidelines on what can be allowed on their store. Like, there's a couple of like, developers that have gotten their games rejected from Nintendo
Mm-hmm.
and got rejected from PlayStation, but they didn't get shut down by Steam. Because
No, they
Steam
didn't.
has a lot more relaxed rules. Like they allow straight up pornography on Steam.
Well, not only that is also they allow returns.
Yep, their return policy.
The
Like
return
so long as
policy.
it's within that 2 hour mark, and you don't you can and you didn't play the game for too long, you could get a good refund if the
Yeah,
game's
and
not working or.
Yeah, and for a while the PS3 was like that. It wasn't 2 hours or anything like that, but it was a much shorter time. Uh, you could have downloaded the game, but if you had played it for like an X amount of time, and it was much, much shorter than 2 hours, I think it was like maybe about half an hour. If you had played it for that long, you could not return unless you could prove that something was wrong. And it was like that with their it's also like that with their physical items. And when I mean physical, I mean like their chargers and whatnot and stuff. You can return it, but they will not refund it unless you can prove that there's something wrong. Which is a load of bullshit. But then again, a lot of things that Xbox and Sony and Nintendo do is bullshit.
It's so funny. The one microtransaction I put into Highguard, uh, Sony gave me my fucking money back after that shit shut down.
I do find it funny how to when it came to Cyberpunk, that game was so bad that all the consoles willingly not only refunded the games, but the stores actually took them off the shelves too.
Yeah, I know. I returned my copy that my aunt got me for Christmas just because of like, yeah. I mean, was very like embarrassing. Um, for CD Bread, and I think it was like really like the start of why people started seeing them differently as a company.
I gotta say, and I've said this before, when it came to that punk screw up for the PS5 launch, even though I didn't get the game, I loved it because the amount of videos that popped up on YouTube showing everything that was wrong with it was so hysterical. I was like, oh my God, not do I feel sorry for these people, but I also thank them so much for putting this stuff up on YouTube because it made me laugh so hard. But it makes you wonder how many people got refunded for their digital.
Yeah, I would hope like a ton of people that like requested refunds got it for Cyberpunk, especially because of how abysmal that launch was.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, like they're not even given the notice, that hey, uh, you've been refunded and whatnot. Sometimes it just poof disappears. That's happened to me lots of times as well. But yeah, when it comes to digitals and physicals, it's kind of
Like
you
with
don't own the game.
physical, like with single player physical games that don't require like DRM, it's just safer. Like even like I can like play some delisted games on the storefront. Like, even though like you can't purchase them or get those licenses anymore, like the Steam and Xbox still allow you to download them from their servers if you had bought them prior to the delisting.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
yeah, we don't know. That's not like a guaranteed thing. Like, they that's just like, I see that as like, a physical copy is more reassuring.
well, not only that is also you own the game. If your system goes down, you can still play your game because you own the physical copy. And if you have a copy of a physical game that has couch co-op, it's still a form of co-op. Just the
Yep.
person next to you has to have the game, but nevertheless, it's still, you don't have to worry about, any of the internet stuff. You just put it in as 2-player.
I what I thought was like really insane was when like Mortal Kombat, like which had always been kind of a couch co-op game, started like requiring you to have like a NetherRealms account or an Xbox account just to be able to play like co-op, like offline.
Mm-hmm.
That was bullshit.
Yeah, I was the last Mortal Kombat game that I played was Mortal Kombat 9, also known as the Mortal Kombat
Oh, that was the
reboot.
best one. Mortal
That
Kombat
also,
9.
yeah, it's also known as the reboot because it had the best look. It had the best design for Melina. It had the best design for Kitana and Jade and all the characters overall.
Yeah,
And
it was a very strong reboot. It was actually my first Mortal Kombat game, and
it had, yeah, it had one trophy that I absolutely adored the title of. And I forget what it was, but it had to do with Molina, and it was titled "Best Alternate Costume Ever," and it had to do with
those
unlocking
rags, those
the
unlocking
rags,
those.
the rags. I thought that was when I saw that when I saw that trophy title, I burst out laughing. I was like, "Oh my god, this is too much."
Yeah, unfortunately, I never unlocked it, but I do wish I did. Like, like like from there, like they kind of scaled back the boobage and sexiness in X, but not like drastically. But then by MK11, like the modernity had sunk in.
Well, yeah, because people were complaining, saying she's too sexual. It's like that was
Everyone, all the women were sexy. They were all in like practical bikinis, like
yeah, but
in
it's like
nine, and that was great.
yeah,
That was
it's
fucking
like
great.
yeah, and it's like that was the point. Even in the fucking first Mortal Kombat movie, what was Kitana wearing? Pure leather.
It's like it's like this franchise that built itself on being like kind of politically incorrect, and like I mean, to the point where they got dragged to fucking Congress over the content in their game.
Mm-hmm.
And then so to see them like cave to like a lot of these like social pressures, like covering up the women but keeping the guys all bare chested, like that is bullshit.
And not only that, but also for digital games, what's really the only purpose for a digital game? Multiplayer. And
Yeah.
a lot of people nowadays, they don't fucking want multiplayer unless they're people who are like uh Call of Duty
Yeah,
play.
it's so like I used to buy like Call of Duty games not for the multiplayer but for the campaigns, and then like you have all these people that only ever bought it for the multiplayer, and then the multiplayer became the selling point, and the campaign was an afterthought. That's kind of when I stopped like getting into Call of Duty, is when like the campaigns like were less of the focus.
Which also could have been another point for the digital concept of getting rid of physical DLCs. For a lot of you people who are gamers out there, you know how much the price of DLCs have risen,
Yeah,
especially the
like
digital ones.
DLC since its inception has always been kind of like a way for publishers to make even more money off games
Mm-hmm.
from fans of those games. And I really like it was only ever a problem when the DLC was excessive or not fair, or if like they had pre-planned DLC. Like and we're like because now like they'll advertise freaking DLC but before the game is even out.
Now, if you have an online game that does crap like this, there's ways of doing it right. Now, for example, free to play games. You have your good ones and you have your bad ones. You have the ones that know how to do it right, and you have your ones who don't know how to do it worth at all. And yes, Zolosia is 100% right there. Pre-order, pre-launch DLCs and special editions. But you know, you have like your DLCs of, oh yeah, you can DLC this character. Or you can do something like for similar to what, and a lot of people know that I'm very fond of this game. You can do something similar to Warframe. You can either buy the character or you can earn the character. Or you can get the money that you would normally pay real money for from other people by simply, once again, earning. You wouldn't have to spend a single dime in that game unless you're trying to look for look for skins. And if you're looking for a skin, good for you. But otherwise, characters can be earned, especially the prime version of those characters. Those can all be earned.
Like these publishers, they want like single player games to make as much money as like Fortnite, which has like a player base that only plays Fortnite. Like that's the only game they spend money on. So of course, like they're going to make all this money. Like, you know, the publishers should be like realistic. There's still a huge player market for just traditional single player games. There is a market for physical games, and they want to force everyone onto this live service ecosystem so they can make this phantom amount of money.
Yeah, exactly. And for free to play games and stuff like that, that did things like Warframe and stuff like that, they gave you the opportunity to actually, for people who can't afford the particular characters that they want and stuff, to earn them. It's also another way of getting people to play the game more. So it's kind of like, oh, you want this character? Well, you have to do this more. So you have to play the game more. You have to keep playing the game. Or you can just, you know, do like you would do with other games that have DLC and everything, and that is follow the route of DLC. Just go ahead and buy it. So DLCs, pre-orders, pre-launch DLCs, you name all that stuff. It gives you false data, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think killing physical is a great mistake, and I just don't know, because Sony was already making so many terrible decisions before all this. Like Astrobot won Game of the Year, and that should have been a fucking wake-up call to them on what direction they should have went as a company, and they completely ignored that success.
Yes. Which is a very sad thing, but it's like, I believe it was, for a while I thought it was EA, but then I was told it was Ubisoft. Either way, between one of those two companies, the owner said, "Get used to not owning your."
It was Ubisoft. That was Ubisoft.
Okay, he said, "Get used to not owning your games," and he was 100% right on that one.
Oh yeah, because like, you know, Ubisoft has their own like Ubisoft subscription service they wanted to push. Like, you know, did you see like how expensive like the top editions for Star Wars Outlaws were originally? Like,
no, I didn't.
Oh, they were ridiculously like expensive. I could try and see if I can find
because I know that subscription service for PlayStation Plus is insanely stupid. Game Pass, like I said, it goes up and down because it's, you know, similar to Disney Plus, you know, prices go up and down. But then again, you know, Xbox, it has its Game Pass, it has its permanent games on the PC, and then it has the console. And then, of course, you have Steam, and of course the Steam machine, which is extremely costly. Not just for games. I mean, if you have an account, great. If you're going to get the Steam machine, my recommendation would be forego the Steam machine and just use your laptop or your PC instead, because they charge they charge a little over $1,000 for the Steam machine, and those Steam machines are built with the specs of a base PS5.
Okay, I got the prices up. If you can allow a screen share.
Yeah. Get up there. Get up there. Oh yeah, sorry. First remove this.
Yeah, so like the Ultimate Edition was like $129.
Good fucking God. And then of course you have this one. Yeah, I can see reactivate Ubisoft Plus. $17.99. And then of course if you lose your that's you see, that's one of those things with very much like PlayStation Plus. If you forget it, if you get to reactivate it or whatnot, you lose the game. Here, reactivate Ubisoft Plus.
Yeah, it's a rental service. Like,
Yep.
that I just like, I don't want to do the subscription model. Like, I already pay for do this for movies. I never wanted to do this for my games ever. If I'm like, they'll just keep adding things I don't want to play, and then just like with Netflix, like they make so much stuff that nobody watches, yet they make it anyway.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, okay, see, standard edition right there, $52.49.
Oh no, it's a $70 originally. I don't know what these discount prices were, but I was like looking for because the price has gone down immensely. I've seen it go for like $20 on Nintendo Switch eShop. Like, they discount this game so fucking hard now.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, I know.
That game was that game was pretty bad.
Yeah, I heard it was not optimized very well. The NPCs are really stupid. Like, I've seen a lot of funny clips of just NPCs being absolutely stupid, not detecting the player at all.
I've seen clips. Hypnotic has shown clips of your character just walking by the NPCs and them not doing anything. You can walk right in front of them and they wouldn't do anything to you. They'd just be like, "Hi there, how you doing?"
I mean, I had some moments of like that when I played James Bond, where like I snuck up. I was trying to get this card, so like I snuck up, pickpocketed this girl. Like, the guy saw me do this, like, and then like I just walk back down. He doesn't come follow me. It was kind of funny.
So when you get digital games like this, and not only that, is digital games normally require more patches than a physical will.
Not always though. Sometimes like the physical
sometimes
like
it's
requires the patch.
Yeah, sometimes it's like an equal amount. But then, I mean, take a look at Stellar Blade. Okay. The digital version, you automatically had to do the patch. If you had the physical disc, you didn't have to do the patch. They gave you the option.
Yeah, I made this point too with Fire Emblem. If you want to hear Christopher Noyce's Byleth before they patched him out and replaced him with another actor, you need the physical copy and not patch it in order to have him as that character.
So yeah, I mean, physical has many, many, many. And another thing is, uh, if uh, if things had, yeah, discs are no longer reliable. Too many day one patches. Never discs forever.
Yes.
But
Hi, Val. How's it going?
but yeah, I mean, physical discs, they had, for example, the days of the Nintendo and Super Nintendo, early days, I mean, like back in the 90s and 80s and stuff. When you got your physical disc, it was complete.
Yep.
100% complete game. As time went by, things evolved. You still had your physical disc. Most of them were just a complete game. Others were, others had to require patches every now and then.
Or it's like some games came on multiple discs, like Final
Yes.
Fantasy VII, most famously.
Devil May Cry 4 for the Xbox required 2 discs.
I don't remember that, but it wouldn't surprise me.
I take it back. It didn't require 2 discs. It would have required 2 discs because of some of the moves they wanted to add in.
I see.
They had to take out some of them.
Yeah, I know they wanted to do more with that game, but even like with what they did put in, like I still think it's a great game.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then of course you have the console prices. Yeah, sure. The digital consoles, cheaper. But how many did they actually sell? Even for Xbox, they didn't sell a lot.
Yeah, the digital only. People want, and like they assume that like if the PlayStation 6 goes all digital, you will not be able to play any game you purchase physically.
A lot of people are under the false influence of digital is better because it's cheaper and you can get it faster and whatnot. That does not make digital better. If anything, also you got to be careful of the quality of the game as well.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it's not good to just get a game like at launch. I got burned out with Sony's Saros because I did not know about like how like the anti-mail it was until I heard the spoilers. Like I started playing it and then I heard like how the game ends and what the secret ending was about. And I'm like, screw this. I don't want this game anymore.
Yeah, exactly. If you pre-ordered like for example, if you pre-ordered a game that was both digital and physical, you pre-ordered the digital version, you can't cancel it. Fuck you.
Yeah, I would not have gotten a refund if I had bought Saros digitally, but because I got it from Amazon, I was able to save like $30 on James Bond First Light. So I just traded in the game.
Yeah. And so with like digital, you can't cancel the pre-order, but with physical, you can.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like the pre-purchase. I don't think there is a way to cancel a pre-purchase.
No, you can't. I mean, like if you buy something from like I've done in the past, I've done pre-orders from pre-order physical games from Best Buy, and they've always given me the option to cancel the pre-order. Target, same thing. Walmart, same thing. As long
And
as
they'll give you your money back?
Yeah, as long as it's physical. If it's a digital, you're up the river without a paddle.
Yeah.
Depending on the system. Like if example, PlayStation, oh, you pre-ordered, but guess what? You can't cancel it.
Yeah. I really wish, I think like a good way to like stand up for physical games would be for people to boycott GTA 6. And I just don't think most of the populace has the willpower to do it.
Well, then again, I mean, for a lot of the companies out there, like Microsoft and PlayStation, gaming is just something they've dipped their hands into. If you have, if they're gaming, if gaming is is both arms and both legs, you can remove both of those and it still would not make a difference to them because they have their arms, because they're dipped into so many things. You have Sony, who's dipped into movies, electronics such as TVs, clocks, watches, and things like that. Uh, they're locked into so many areas that make so much more money than just gaming does.
Yeah,
Same with Microsoft.
with
They got
Nintendo. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm just saying, with Nintendo and Steam, it's kind of the opposite. Like they
yeah,
both were heavily started in games. Nintendo, though, started out as a toy company. Like, it's actually a lot older a company than people realize. But yeah, like, they were always like, and it's only now that Nintendo is actually dipping into like, toys and like movies and stuff like in multimedia. Whereas
yeah,
like before, but they're still like their bread and butter is still the games.
yeah. And for things like for Microsoft and stuff, they have computer programs. They also have not only computer programs, but they make computers, laptops. I mean, no, of course, they make computers, all sorts of things. I mean, both Sony and Microsoft, they got no problem. You can be as bitchy about this as you want to them. They won't care if you. They will always. They expected this. They knew we were going to be bitchy about this. So what? They don't care. They have a backup plan, and when their backup plan fails, well, guess what? They have backup plans for that backup plans, and so on and so forth. The only company that would probably fail in the backup plan area would be Xbox, but Sony, they're used to this shit. Because, I mean, Sony, not only do they have their hands dipped into music and all that other stuff, they also own certain things like MC's villain verse.
Well, didn't they like cancel like the whole villain verse thing
No,
already?
they still own the villain verse. They own Spider-Man. Um, so if there's any Spider-Man movies and stuff that are going to be made, and Disney wants to have their hands touched into it, guess what? Disney has to split it, and they have to talk to Sony. They almost didn't get some of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Almost didn't. I know a lot of people were saying, we want Miles Morales for live action. Well, Sony said, tough. You're not getting Miles Morales in live action, but we'll give him to you via animation. Hence the Miles Morales movies, the 3 that he gets.
Yeah,
and of course, and Disney gives him, of course, a steady television series.
Yeah. People know that like Spider-Man is like the definitive like Peter Parker, even though like Sony has also with the games like really tried to do the whole replacing Peter thing. But I know that's another whole culture topic in and of itself. But yeah, like the Spider-Man license is very big for Sony. I expect the new movie is going to do very well. Like maybe it might even like do better than No Way Home at some point.
I don't think it will because they're gonna have 10 villains at once in that movie. So I see it as it's going to be another Sam Raimi Spider-Man 3. 2.0, and that one was not good because it had too many villains, too many last minute. They switched
too many characters. Like you got Punisher, you got Hulk, you've got like
they have in this one they have Tarantula, Scorpion, Punisher, Hulk. They're bringing back Zendaya's MJ for some unknown reason. There's also an unknown villain in there who's and then of course you got the Hand and all that other stuff, and so.
And Keith David is playing someone. We know that from the trailer.
And yeah, so we got a whole bunch. So Sony and Microsoft, they got their hands everywhere. Sony more so than Microsoft and Nintendo and the others.
But
So
Microsoft
this
is
has
still
made,
the more wealthier company, though.
yeah, they're the most wealthy company. But if you go down into Japan, Sony is. But taking away the physical discs from them, they don't care what the gamers will say because it's just a drop in the water to them. Oh, our shares will drop, so what? It's not by much.
Might as well just end PlayStation altogether at that fucking point.
Yeah, they might as well. I mean, it's borderline that they've already done, and especially for Sony because of this recent happening earlier this week. They their network got shut down for about a good 6 to 8 hours. People could not sign in. People could not play their online games. Ha ha! Unless you had a disc, you couldn't do shit. So yeah, I feel sorry. I have a PlayStation, but 99% of my games are disc.
Yeah, same.
So people were complaining about that. But then again, at the same time, something similar was happening to Xbox. And it makes you wonder, are people trying to do this as a statement? Is this a dox attack?
I think I heard some people say that this was an anonymous thing, that they were responsible.
Well, the thing is that they did this during the PS3 time. It was down for like about a good, not just a couple of days, but I think a good couple of weeks.
Yeah,
And
like North Korea launched
a lot of people were pissed off to the point where where Sony's not only gave an apology, but they actually got on TV and they were like, "We are sorry." They bowed. They did all of that, and they were like, as our way of saying sorry. Every month we're going to give you 3 different free games for you to download, and not only will you have them, you'll get to keep them. Those 3 games have now gone back down to 2. And it makes you wonder how much longer they're gonna keep that promise that they made.
Yeah, like do you remember the interview?
Which interview?
Oh no, the movie, The Interview. It was a
Oh,
Sony movie. Yeah, like I think this was like there was a massive cyber attack because it made fun of Kim Jong Un.
yeah, I never saw that
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, it was Seth Rogen. I saw it. It was definitely like it was actually a pretty funny movie. Um, they have like Kim Jong Un like cries to Katy Perry's Firework. It's pretty, yeah. But like the North Koreans like wanted to stop the release of that movie, so like they did this like cyber attack thing. Like I apparently like they canceled the theatrical release and they were going to release it like digitally, and then like there was like a big cyber attack on Christmas or something. I remember it was a long time ago, so details are a little bit foggy.
I mean, if the fact that the PlayStation 2 was voted, I forget by which company, but it was voted the best and most solid gaming console, should say something to Sony. This is a physical console. A physical console that did not require PlayStation Plus or any of that other shit. You would think that they would take a hint. PlayStation Plus network back in the days of the PS3 was pretty decent. PS4, PS5, it started to get pretty crappy.
Yeah.
It failed a lot. There were a lot of times where I would want to get in and play and couldn't. I had the digital edition of Dying Light, the first game. I had 100% cleared that game. I had the platinum for it. I woke up one day after Dying Light had done a patch. All of my trophies were gone. All of them. I had to start from scratch.
Like your whole trophy, that's never happened to me with Xbox.
I was like, this is bullshit. And of course, another thing, and this can happen on any system, system firmware update for Sony. PS4.
Oh yeah, I hate system updates for anything, especially my PC.
System firmware update for the PS4 that I had. Updated it. The restart. It was like my damn thing was possessed. My screen was jumping everywhere. I couldn't see anything. I had no access to my games or anything like that. My screen was going all over the place. And it didn't even give me a chance to save my games. I had to take it back to GameStop. Tell them what was going on. They turned it on. They were like, holy crap, we've never seen anything that was like what's happening to your PS4. So, of course, what did they do? The only thing that came out of that was pleasant was they gave me a 2 terabyte PlayStation 4 for free because they felt sorry for me.
Nice.
When a store like GameStop feels sorry for you, that says a lot. Because of something that happened digitally. And when shit like this happens, and like I said, I had no access to any of my digital games. I couldn't even play physical games.
The update just completely like destroyed.
They killed it. Pull out
very
the trumpet.
Unlucky.
Yeah. Pull out the trumpet. Played taps. My PS4 was dead. Just like that. But it was just... And when things like that happen to your PlayStation and whatnot, and you don't have enough money to go out and get another one, you're fucked. Jonathan, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure being a female and cute did not help.
It is GameStop. After all, like these are the people that will constantly remind you to sign up for their memberships.
They already knew I had one.
Nice.
But like with these with going digital, especially Sony. Sony, when it comes to stores, most of their stuff, when it comes to their games, most of their stuff are in stores, going strictly digital. Now we have Xbox, it has Game Pass. It's had Game Pass for quite a while. They don't need to worry about losing any physical. GameStop, Target, all of them. They don't need to worry about losing any physical because if you were to go in there, it's already very small right now, likewise with Nintendo. But if you were to go into the PlayStation area, it's a very big area. If they go completely digital, permanently. GameStop will become a Temu box lunch or Temu Hot Topic. A lot of stores are going to close down, like we said. A lot of stores are going to lose certain parts of their business. And it's really not fair to a lot of these businesses, including gaming businesses that really rely on disc and not digital.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why, like, I'm going to keep covering this on my own channel, and I'm going to keep, like, following news online because, well, not sure if, like, it's a fight we can win. I think it's a fight worth fighting for just because of how important physical media is for gaming.
I think that, even though it happens in 2020, and we all know how stubborn big companies are, especially Sony, especially Microsoft. They see the trend, they're going to go with that trend. It's pretty much they've made their final decision. But as I've said on another friend's channels, a lot can happen between now and 2028. And also, just like music, gaming does go in circles. Be it through the topic or through the form. It goes in circles. 1 year, first-person shooters will be the greatest thing in the world. The next year, it'll be Souls-like, and the next year, it'll be hack and slash, and so on and so forth. In the past, it has been similar with the form of your game. So who knows what, it could be, we could have a circle in which we will go, they'll go straight to strictly digital, realize it's not all, the grass is not greener on the other side. And they may go strictly back, and they may go back to digital physical. Thing is, though, will people pick up on their will people start buying their stuff again? That's a completely different story, because they will have lost so many customers by then.
Wasn't Death Stranding the first one a Sony exclusive originally?
For Death Stranding, no. There were a couple of others.
Yeah, I just think it's funny that, like, even though I hate the game personally, that, like, you have, like, part of the things you do in the open world is collect physical media that's been lost to, like, this rain.
And that's another thing, though, is that Sony said one of their key decisions in this is because they want to get more exclusives. Fuck you, that's not happening. You'll get your exclusives, but who the hell said people are going to buy them?
Like, they want to make more deals with, like, other companies to make exclusive games. Like, because, like, literally, they had to make that deal with Square Enix in order for me to get a PS5, and Square's, like, made, like, they lost so many sales off that exclusivity deal. They were like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. Final Fantasy is now multi-plat.
Yeah, and of course, the Game Preservation Committee, even they're pissed off about this.
Yeah.
Because there is no physical form that they can preserve about it.
I know there's some lawsuits and, like, certain governments that want to, like push this, but I'm just worried it's going to get stonewalled like Stop Killing Games did, where, like, someone will pull the strings. Like, because we've seen, like, all these game journalists and all these, like, influencers, these positivity peddlers on X that want to, like, kill this this protest, that want to like stop people from complaining and just accept owning nothing and being happy.
And the thing is, though, is that those people don't even play video games to begin with. A lot of those people they don't play games to begin with, or they're paid to say that shit. And then, of course, in Europe, they say, you know what? Hey, even if we try anything, even if we try something, they're still not going to listen to us. You're shit out of luck. Brazil, they're trying to take it to their legislature. Good luck, Brazil. I'm glad they're taking it into the right step.
Yeah. Absolutely, because like some of these like countries, these are like countries where like internet isn't as like available as it is in the United States. Like hell, like there are parts of the United States that don't have internet still. Like so, like it is just crazy, just like almost like privileged, almost like it's just pompous of Sony to just do this and just.
And some of the best games out there, they're on physical disc. And even if you have a PlayStation 2 or a PlayStation 1, you got some great games listed for you.
The physical copies of like some PS1 games go for hundreds of dollars. I've tried to like scoop a couple of them. Like I wanted to get Clock Tower. That Clock Tower is very expensive.
For PS2 games, some of my favorite PS2 games were Ghost in the Shell, Red Ninja. I mean, a lot of them were really, really fun. And then, of course, you got PlayStation 1. You got Resident Evil, Devil May Cry. I mean, those two systems, they started it all with certain IPs. Those were the granddaddies. They were the original ones that started with the Sony IPs.
Gaming was just more free. There was more creativity. Like it was just better before it went all mainstream.
Yeah, it was. And not only was it better, but the gameplay was more solid. Like I said, there was no DLC. We were getting complete games. PS3 comes along. And that's another thing for the physical backplay compatibility.
Backwards compatibility is big. And Sony was the one that screwed over backwards compatibility with PS4. Like PS3 has three-way backwards compatibility between PS1 and 2. And that's also one of the reasons why I got the older model was for that.
Yeah, because if you had the Fat Boy PS3, which was the very first one that came out, then you could do the backplay compatibility. If you got the new version of it, which was the PlayStation Slim, you didn't have that. If you had the PlayStation Super Slim, the PlayStation 3 Super Slim, you couldn't do that either. PS4 couldn't do that. PS5 comes out, you can do it with PS4 games.
Yep, and if you want to play PS3 games, you have to pay $120 or $160 a year just for top premium for PS Plus, just to play PS3 games.
Yeah, likewise with the PS2 games that are on there, but PS2 games that are on there are normally like the Atari ones and whatnot.
Yeah, well, they actually let you buy the PS2 games individually, just not the PS3 ones. Like the PS3 ones, they gatekeep hard to the classics catalog because it's all cloud streaming.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to have a native emulator for PS3 on there for some reason.
I do have a friend, though, that got so pissed off about this that he took his, about what Sony's doing, that he took his PS5 and managed to emulate it. He managed to turn it into an emulator. Whoa. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And he goes, no, I managed to do it. And I was like, wow. But the PlayStation Network, it is a very, very bad one. I mean, it used to be a pretty good network until they also made it so that way if you want to play online with your friends, you have to be part of the PlayStation Network.
Oh, it's not just that. It's cloud saves. Like they lock so much shit behind PS Plus. It's disgusting.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, you know, when things like this happen, when the network drops or whatever, it gets doxxed or things like that, you're like I said, you're fucked. You have no access to your games. Unless you have a physical disc, you have no access. Arcuz Rage says, my first model PS3 died on me with a disc in it after 1 year. Called Sony, it was replaced, free shipping fees, of course. Got a refurbished PS3 and my disc, and yes, no backwards compatibility. Oof.
Oof.
Oh. Ow. I would be crying. I would be cursing.
I got a really good deal on the PS3 I got. It's apparently refurbished. It's the fat model. And like it was only like 119. Like it was a very, very good deal. I do hope that thing lasts.
The one thing I do like about the PlayStations is the fact that they have that they play Blu-ray.
Yep, that's good. I use my PS4 mainly as my Blu-ray player now.
Yeah, and the thing is that because of the Blu-ray, it allowed you to play imported games. Blu-rays are not region locked. So I had a lot of PS3 games that are imported straight from Japan that I could easily play if I wanted to. The only thing is with the PS5 is you cannot play the DVDs anymore. If you want to play your DVDs and Blu-rays, you got to have a PS3.
That's not. I'm able to play Blu-rays, DVDs on my PS4.
Well, PS4, yeah, you can, but I'm saying on the PS5, you can't.
Oh yeah, I never tried that, so I wouldn't know.
They got rid of that feature for the PS5. You can do Blu-rays, but you can't do DVDs.
Interesting. Good thing I kept my PS4.
Yeah, same here. I still have my PS2. I still have my PS3. I still have my PS4. I have my PSP. I have my PlayStation Vita. I am a Sony sheep, but when they pull shit like this, I will call them out on it and I will give them the finger and I will say, hey, fuck you. I've had enough.
Like, I'm the same way with fucking Nintendo. Like, they butchered the localization on the last Fire Emblem game. Now, I'm still getting the new Fire Emblem game, just fingers crossing that it's a better localization this time. But, like, yeah, I held it over them. Like, you know, and I mocked that because there were other things I didn't like about the game besides the localization. Like, you know, I just, you know, I don't want to get on a nerd tangent because I can. Believe me, I can when it comes to the Fire Emblem shit. I can tangent like there's no tomorrow on that fucking game. But yeah, like, you know, I get what you're saying. Like, you know, we gotta hold these companies accountable. It's good. It's okay to be a fan of something, but when they do shit like Sue Pow World or you know, like Kill Physical, we gotta hold them fucking accountable.
Like, for example, okay, Pal World, very popular digital game.
Yep, it's digital game, but it's indie. Like no one thought it would be that successful. Nobody.
It's digital game, indie. Sony sees it. It's digital. we'll drop our physical, we'll drop the request, we'll just go straight to the digital. We'll ask them.
World
Anything.
is the exception, not the rule. That's what they don't get.
Yeah. It's all based on, the creator. And a lot of companies, even though they don't have a problem with certain games, a lot of companies are still pissed about this. Which you can't blame them.
Well, they are going to be hurting. Like, a lot of them rely on collector's editions and like physical media. Like, that's kind of like been a big part of game releases is the collector's edition.
Yeah, like for example, collector's edition, you'll get a statue plus art book and everything like that. Okay. There's a collector's edition for certain games on PlayStation. I forget which one it was. Where you get a statue plus the soundtrack plus the artwork. The only thing is the soundtrack and the artwork are on the PlayStation, and they'll mail you the statue. What the fuck is the point of all this? Your system goes down like it did earlier this week. You have no access to the soundtrack. You have no access to the artwork, but you do have your little statue that you paid for.
That's the only physical caveat in that regard. Like all the in-game content, it's locked to digital.
Yeah. And as far as that little statue or whatever it is that you got for it, damn well someday that's going to disappear as well.
Well, everything rots, unfortunately, even physical media. But like the thing is, like by the time that happens, we'll all be dead. And the thing is that it like, yeah, like you got to take good care of your stuff. And if you do take good care of things, like there are like statues and stuff that have lasted thousands of years and through natural like things, but I get what you're saying, like, but like the thing is like that people have tried to use disk rot as a way of why like servers can rot too, like computer components can rot as well. Like digital isn't as like permanent as you think it is either.
Oh no, it's not. Nothing is permanent. However, when it comes to digital, that is the most that is the biggest fail of it all, in my personal opinion. Because, like I said, the slightest thing happens with your digital, you're fucked. And on top of that, the companies, Microsoft and Sony and stuff, they will not give you refunds or anything like that. If you have the disc, however, you can go back to the store you got it from and either switch it out, get credit, get refunds, whatever the store policy is. And as we mentioned before, with physical, you can spread it out. You make more money. For people who can't afford digital, but they can't afford physical, they'll get the physical. For those, it's a wider market.
Yep. There's just so much that's going to go wrong, like when this actually goes through. I mean, I have not canceled any of my PlayStation pre-orders for like as far as physical games go, but I also haven't made any like really new ones.
I haven't made a pre-order in a long time. The last time I did a pre-order was for Pragmata, and that was it. Otherwise, I haven't really done a pre-order since because pre-orders have, they've let me down. Sometimes, something will usually go wrong last minute, and then you're pretty much screwed over. So it's like if you risk on losing something because of a pre-order, like, oh, you won't get this costume or whatever. as if I care. I'm there buying the game, not the costume.
Yeah, like the costume is just an optional like thing. Like I only like really pre-order like games that I think are either going to be like hard to acquire or like are things I'm really excited about, or they have a
Or
good collector's edition. Like
or like
sometimes I'll do it for early access for streaming, like sometimes, but I haven't done that in a long, long time. And yeah,
or
sometimes like
extra.
you pre-order and the game is shit.
Yeah, or you'll get extra characters. Now with Sony, with for Sega's Sonic Crossworlds um,
Oh, the
racing,
werehog. The werehog,
I
yes,
got the
yes.
Werehog. I did pre-order strictly for the Werehog, and then I taunted one of my friends about it.
Yeah, I know. Well, we gotta do some more Crossworlds again at some point.
Yeah. Who was it? Killer J or Roadkill that I kept on taunting about the Werehog, and he kept on saying, I don't want to talk about it.
I don't know. I know Dan was playing with us.
Yeah. But we gotta we do gotta play Sonic Crossroads Racing, which I do have on physical. Like I said, I got the
Nice.
Werehog. Like I said, I got the Werehog, and for the Werehog, you gotta pre-order from Best Buy. Of course, now you can get it from the store.
Oh,
But
did they make it? I would definitely like to get the werehog at some point once they make that available for everyone.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I could understand if they kept things like seasonal stuff like that. I can understand if they keep it digital, seasonal things digital, because hey, I mean, not everybody wants to do seasonal crap. Not everybody's gonna be around for the season. So that's more like an option thing. So I can understand that kind of stuff. I can understand skins and shit like that. Because hey, at that point in time, your customer is an idiot and they should know better. But they shouldn't take away physical. They really shouldn't. It's not popular. I mean, it's not perfect, but it gives you the option for like when Sony, when their network failed and whatnot, you can still go on there and play a game. Why? Because it's a single player physical.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a
Yeah.
digital,
So go ahead. Oh, Scoop, did you cut out?
so yeah, it's a shame. It really is. And we can
Yep.
only hope and pray. We can only hope and pray that this changes. Although, like I said, Sony and Microsoft and them, they have their hands dipped into way too many other things for anything we whine and complain about making a dent. And they have so many backup plans, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
They can put out as many things like handhelds and stuff like that as they want. People are still going to buy them. Let's face it. There's going to be a lot of people out there that are still going to buy them. They're going to bitch and complain, but they're still going to buy them because of, in some cases, fear of missing out.
Yeah, it's that like, that need to get the next thing. Like, that's the Apple strategy. Like, they release like iPhones like constantly and people just keep buying them.
Don't buy an Apple phone. They suck, people. I have one. But yeah, another thing about it is fear of missing out.
Yeah,
Which,
it's kind of like funny that like, like I was buying like almost every game but Sony exclusives because like they're not making like really like games I'd be particularly interested in, like Sly Cooper or Ratchet and Clank or like even fucking Days Gone 2. I'd buy that shit in a heartbeat.
mm-hmm. Yeah, you got your Sony ponies. You got those that are afraid of missing out. You have those who really don't care. You have those who say, oh, get over it. You know, it's best set that way. And you know that those are the types of people who don't really game in the first place.
Well, like you said, like there are people that pretend to be into certain fandoms or into certain hobbies that just like pretend, and but they don't actually do that because they're always online. Like, you know, like they're only online to like, you know, talk about this stuff. They're not actually consuming the products.
Or they consider themselves gamers because they game on the phone. That's not gaming. I can pick up my phone, download the new Bleach game. I'd still consider that not gaming.
Yeah, most mobile games are like too simple to really like be games. I do like the new Dissidia though. It's a bit of a money sink, you know, typical gotcha like greed and stuff. But honestly, like it's not like, so long as you don't hit auto battle, like, you know, there's actually some strategy involved. So I like that game. I know a lot of people like the Hoyoverse and Genshin Impact stuff, but those are kind of big time sinks. But like, so there are certain mobile games I would consider as like real games, but most mobile games, you're right, they're not real games.
Yeah, I mean, for me, if it's for the PS6, if that's going to be strictly digital, which it's looking like it is.
I'm not getting it.
Yeah, that's going to be my end of console. I'm not even going to say sorry, Sony. I'm going to say fuck you, Sony. You brought this on yourself.
Same here. Like, you know, for me, it's just a Steam and like, you know, I guess Switch. You know, it's just like, you know, I'm not, as much as I fucking hate the game key cards, I'm not going to like, if you're not going to give me like what I want, which is a disc and something to hold and build a collection off of, then fuck it. I'll just go all digital on Steam.
But then again, you know, with the whole on digital thing though, that also brings up the PC. It's like people want physical and then they threaten to go to PC. And it's kind of like you do.
They should be threatening to go to Nintendo. They should be threatening.
Yeah, it's like go anywhere but PC, because a lot of those games on PC, guess what? They're digital.
A lot of people are saying Microsoft is going to come in and save the day. I want to wait for them to actually do a change course or pull like what Sony did on them all those years ago with the Xbox One. If they like kind of like turn the tables on them with that, and I don't think they're going to, because they've campaigned for this. They wanted all this Game Pass stuff. They want that all digital ecosystem.
Yeah, and they did say we're trying to get rid of our consoles. We want to go strictly, you know, to the PC. They've been planning this. Xbox has been wanting to do strictly digital. If PlayStation had stayed, you know, strictly physical and digital, they would have the lead in the market. But that is no longer being the case as of 2028.
They're going to need a really, really good exclusive game for PS6 if it has any hope of surviving. Like, it has to be a guaranteed good game. It can't just be like, because I have no doubt the Wolverine game is going to sell well, but if it doesn't like really review well, like with like normal gamers who aren't like Marvel fanboys or Sony fanboys,
I don't think it'll sell well. I really don't. A lot of people already are looking down on it. I don't think it'll sell very well.
I don't know. I just think it's more like it's coming way too late. Like the Marvel craze is over, pretty much.
Yeah. And the gameplay on top of that, most of the gameplay isn't even actual gameplay. What they're
It's
showing you is
cutscenes. It's
cutscenes.
cutscenes. Scripted narrative cutscenes.
There it shows like it's coming off as mainly cutscenes, then it comes off as more cutscenes than gameplay. And for Insomniac, that trend started with Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, like I'm playing the Ratchet and Clank games on my PS3, and like that is like pure gameplay oriented. Simple story, go to X planet, that get some guns, go to the other planet. Very like simple story, but like the gameplay is like fucking awesome. You're just shooting like everything.
It's funny though, the Ratchet and Clank game, the one that came out just before
Spider-Man.
no, the one that came out just before A Wrench in Time or whatever it was called.
Oh, you mean Rift Apart?
Rift Apart. Yes, thank you. That one. I saw the movie for that one. And I saw the movie before I got the game. And then when I played the game, I realized in between game, I realized that the gameplay is really just commercials for for it, because every cutscene in that game is exactly what you saw in the movie theaters. So
yeah,
basically,
so that game was a remake.
Theaters, yeah, so basically, when you went to the movie theaters to watch the Ratchet and Clank movie, you were watching the video game, just it didn't have any of the gameplay.
Yeah, so that movie and that game were like a remake or a retelling of the first game, the one I've almost beaten. But so like yeah, like a friend of mine was telling me that like it's almost like those old movie games where they just spliced movie footage into the game, or just like retell the same story verbatim.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so I don't have plans on getting that one, but I do plan on like playing the whole series, just because like it seems like games like Ratchet and Clank, I think, are like more of what I'm personally looking for. Like, Nintendo was able to like really like build its loyal fan base by like really supporting its franchises. And I feel like Sony has just thrown so many of them to the side. Anything that's not God of War or The Last of Us or Spider-Man, they just don't pay attention to. Like it. And what was cool about Astrobot is they completely ignored all that shit and they celebrated all of PlayStation.
Yeah. And it's really a shame though that all the companies are going the digital route, and it's a shame that what happened. I mean, because what happened earlier this week with the network fail, it should show Sony that, hey, if this happens when all your games are digital, you're going to piss off all your customers. It should also show to the customers what's going to happen if Sony goes all digital. And in some cases, Sony will take away your game because it needs to renew your license, even if you bought the game. Tough. That happened to me with Devil May Cry 4. I had to renew my license for the damn game, even though I had bought it. Thank God I had the physical. I was like, this is bullshit. And a lot of people need to realize this is what's going to happen.
Absolutely. Yeah, like so many people, like, especially like younger gamers, like they do not see like what an all digital future actually means, or what happened to the movie industry.
Well, the thing is, though, is they haven't had the experience that we've had, which is a lot of physical. When we were younger, we had physical all over the
Yeah.
place. And
VHS
then
tapes, DVDs.
yeah, and then it went straight from physical to physical and digital and things like that. We went through a lot of change, and they're around, and their change for them is digital. Strictly goes straight to digital. So this won't phase them, but for us, it does. And if the gaming companies want to make their money, they got to know that they need to remember the money they make comes from us.
Yeah,
we're the
we're
old
the
school
ones
game.
have jobs. We're the ones who have jobs. We're the ones who actually like make money.
Well, not only that is also we're the old school gamers. We know the IPs and stuff like that. You want us to keep buying your IPs. You want us to keep buying your stuff. We've been longtime fans. We know what you do. We know what you can't do. We know what you can do and whatnot. If you want to keep your customers, keep pleasing us. And we're asking, hey, stick with the physical, enough with the digital, which is, real a real pain in the ass. And like I said, it's a sad thing knowing that a lot of these companies, they just really don't give a shit. It is a very sad time. But anyways, that's all we've had time for. We've gone way over time. Wow, half an hour past time. But yes. So, why don't you, as Vistra would say, show your shit.
Yeah. So I'm DashAttack, for those that don't know me, mainly a gaming channel, play mostly like stream, but I also do cover stuff in the industry. So yeah, go on, check me out. I'm mainly on YouTube, but I'm also on Rumble and Kick and a few other platforms, but mainly YouTube. So yeah, come check me out. We always have like a good time. I play a lot of different games, and I just I enjoy the company. It's been fantastic.
Awesome.
Also, I'm rich.
That's a good thing to add on.
Yeah.
Make me feel poor. As for me, all of you guys who are watching, you know that you can find me on Kick, Rumble, YouTube, Twitch, and Discord. If you guys want a link to my Discord account, then you guys can always get a hold of my wonderful mod from the mod with the most from the East Coast, the Losi. You can see him in chat, putting up links and stuff. You can also follow me on Twitter. Next Saturday, if you guys want to follow me on my channel, I do reviews, which are basically movie reviews, game reviews, TV reviews, you name it. Those are usually either done as live or premieres. Next week, I swear to God, you guys, I promise, and if I don't do this, you guys can yell at me all you want through X or whatever. You can. I will be getting back on the Pragmata next week. I swear to God, I will.
Nice.
Just always remember, guys, I never stream on a Tuesday. But next Saturday on SCOOBYPUP'S podcast, I will have the one, the only, the lovely, the beautiful Vex Electronica. And we will be talking Spider-Man. And
Spooderman.
Yes, Spider-Man. And we will have both watched Spider-Man Brand New Day. So yes, we will be going over Spider-Man and some other possible movies. So it won't just be Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but also Toby and Andrew. And we'll probably be covering some of the Marvel Avengers movies coming up and whatnot. So be sure to come on by for that one. Vex is really fun to have. She's very funny. She's a great person. If you haven't seen her, she is on Hold My DualShock every Monday. Not Hold My DualShocks. I'm sorry. She's on the Plot Strikes Back with Nick every Monday. So be sure to check out her stuff. She does have her own individual shows. Be sure to check out her channel. Check out DashAttack's channel. I hope you guys all have a great weekend. Be sure to have a wonderful night, evening, afternoon. Thank you to my mods for doing what you do best. DashAttack, thank you for coming on. Chat, thank you guys for coming in. I love you all. You guys have a great time. Bye.
Bye.